What's up, bitches and bitchettes? It's your boy Agent J007 here. About to play a little bit of NBA Live 98. I've got the Chicago Bulls here. Part of a season that I started with them. Hashtag running of the Bulls. And we're going to rap with you a little bit tonight about the NBA in general, as well as the game series NBA Live. So let's do this. I'm going to go ahead and load up the game. Let's see the starting lineups. Now I am playing on a keyboard of my personal computer. So with the isometric view, it's really difficult, but we're still going to have a good time with it. Also, some of the buttons aren't functioning properly, even though I reprogrammed them. So it's going to be a challenge. I may get my ass whipped, but we'll see. Now, as you can see tonight, our opponent is the Philadelphia 76ers. Dr. J's team. So we're going to go ahead and start this up now. Have a look at starting lineup. Eric Montross representing UNC. Luke Longley from Australia. Good eye, mate. Little DC Derrick Coleman, the Worm, Dennis Rodman. So we got Jimmy Jackson, formerly the Dallas Mavs. Scottie Pippen needs no introduction. We all know Scottie. We got Jerry Stackhouse, and what I'm hoping is the creative player, Michael Jordan. We'll see. He's not in the game officially, but I put him in there as a creative player. Hopefully that's him. Maybe, maybe not. And at a point, we're going to put the answer, Allen Iverson, one of the most talented players that ever touched a basketball, and Ron Harper, workman-like player. So let's do this. Alright, so I'm going to try to do this with my keyboard. I've only played it a couple of times since I re-downloaded the game. So we're going to try to see what we can do. So I missed on the pop-a shot immediately, but that's alright. Now, I have the fouls on, but they're pretty liberal. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, just let the guy take it right to the hole. That's a good plan. That's a good strategy. You can get away with some shoving. That's right. A little get back. There are no free throws, so we're not content with that. We're just going to keep the action moving. Wow, see. Now, I've got it on just the regular difficulty, so I'm probably going to get potentially scored on now and then, but that's okay. We're going to take this thing right down the lane, baby. Oh, didn't get it. Couldn't get to the board either. So yeah, I've got to relearn the controls here. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, they're scoring at will at this point, but that's all right. We're gonna catch them. We'll catch them. Oh, they got a steal. Yeah, it's not looking good here in the early going. Oh man, they're on a 6-0 run, killing me right now. All right, let's see. Well, I guess we'll try to do some offense then, but it's really difficult playing with this keyboard. There you go. So I actually did win a game in this season by about 30 points earlier, so that was pretty cool. Back when I was just trying to test it out. But of course, if I get on camera, I'm not going to do that well, because that's the way it works. So, damn it, man. All right, so let's talk about NBA Live. Now, y'all, for anyone that doesn't know, this series is shit. Started out back in '95. If I can get around them, and was released for the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis. I'm currently playing on the Sega Genesis. Nice pass. It's a good look. I'll give him credit for that. It's a good look. Push it, baby. Push it. Oh, Luke Longley missed it. Here I can get old Ron Harper over here, and that's right, molest a few peoples here. Look down on that. Oh, y'all like that, didn't you? You liked that, didn't you? Yeah, man, you gotta look for your teammates. Now, in this series here, basically, initially it was very limited in terms of what all you could do, but each and every game added to the previous game's formula. It's just really fun. As you can see, it's kind of arcade style. It's very fast-paced. It generally had the correct rosters for whatever year. Oh. So whatever year you were in, you usually had, there's the oop, baby, like that. Now in this particular game, for instance, it actually is the first time that Charles Barkley, the round mound or rebound, was in the game. Poor defense on my part there. This was his first introduction, but Jordan is not on the game, so I made a creative player of Jordan. And basically, yep, got that. Oh, you know I got that. And You know, NBA Live was basically the best game that you could possibly have. A lot of good times playing it. It was pretty much the basketball game to have if you had the Genesis or the Super Nintendo. They did release it also for PC, but I never played that version. But yeah, it's good times. I tried to get the block, couldn't get it. So as you can see here, we're in the first quarter. 14-14 tie, it's not bad. Game statistics, I mean, that's fine. Both teams shooting well. Now, back in the 90s, what I consider to be really some of the glory days of the sport, basically through the late 70s, through the 80s, and into the 90s, were basically the glory days. And you had, I call them the glory days because you had such an absolute multitude of Hall of Fame caliber talents and stars. It was not the league that it is today, where it's a little bit watered down in terms of all-time talent. Now, you may have 5 or 6 guys in the league now that would be considered to be Hall of Fame talents, but generally speaking, you had a lot more back in the 90s. That was a terrible shot on my part. Now in the 90s, of course, we all know about Jordan, what the Bulls did, but they had to overcome the Pistons to even begin to rise in the East. Not only the Pistons, but also the Celtics. Proved to be a daunting challenge for Michael Jordan, and he wasn't successful early in his career. He was supposed to basically just a scorer. He was putting up well over 30 per game, but when he learned to play the team game, come on, you got to hit that, man. That's when he truly began to excel. And the team game is really the way to play. And I know that we're in kind of a me-first era of the NBA. So it's not a lot of team game going on, actually. It's a lot of just, let's build a scoring machine. And that's going to be how we're going to play. We're just going to outscore our opponents. Now, there was always tremendous amount of scoring, even in the 90s. But if you look at, like, it was terrible defense on my part. If you look at, like, this new power team with Kevin Durant, joining the Golden State Warriors, you know, on paper it looks great. Like, if you want to win an all-star game, that's an excellent lineup to have, where you have him with the 2 shooters and Draymond Green. It looks pretty good because from a scoring standpoint, it is good. But what I would ask is, where are the rebounds going to come from? Where's the defense going to come from? And the answer to that is there really isn't. There's really not much. You've got Draymond Green. Oh, he blew the dunk. You've got Draymond Green on the perimeter. Yes. And now I've taken the lead, so the Sixers can bite my ass. But other than that, and see, you used to have to build with a big man all through the 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. You really needed a big one. It was imperative that you get one, which is one reason why the Trailblazers took Sam Bowie over Michael Jordan. It's not just stupidity. They're not a bunch of idiots. They had Clyde Drexler. They didn't need a shooting guard. And you built with a big man. That was always the case. It just isn't any longer. Come on. So now you've got a league where it's basically a lot of players who are very young. They might have been young, one and done in college. And I'm not going to get it off. And so now this super team looks great on paper. Like, if I'm trying to play like an all-star game, got the lead by 2, by the way. Let's see, not bad. And you wanted to, you know, play like, because the all-star game is always just run and gun. No defense. No one's looking to play any defense. Just trying to score and have a good time doing that. So if you want to do that, then you look at this Kevin Durant Golden State Warriors team, you know, with Curry and Thompson, and you think, wow, who's going to stop them? Well, the truth is, they can probably outscore most anyone. But at some point, they may face a team like the San Antonio Spurs team with Tim Duncan, where you're going to have to defeat an actual team, not just a collection of stars. So we'll see if that really goes the way they think it's going to go. I'm not sure about that. The entire league right now is just pretty much watered down. You have 3 or 4 guys who could legitimately play in other eras, and you got a bunch of guys who wouldn't even be able to crack the starting lineup. They would be bench players. They have a lot of guys that would be bench players. I maintain that Steph Curry would be a bench player in the 80s and 90s because they have the talent level is so much greater. I just let him right into the lane. Son of a bitch. Just the talent was so much stronger back then. Oh, you fouled me and got away with it, you son of a bitch. Oh, they're on a run. Iverson to the rack. It's just a matter of, 3 or 4 all-time players versus dozens. I mean, every team in the 80s and 90s had 2 or 3 guys that were potentially Hall of Fame players. I mean, I'm not even overstating it. Oh shit, Luke Longley gets loose. I'm really not even overstating it. Oh, come on, man. I played D on that one. You son of a bitch. Let's take it, Scotty. Like now, if you want to look at today's game, it was terrible. He bumped me at the last second. In today's game, LeBron would be the one guy that could play in any era at any time with any team. Kevin Durant, if you think about him, the guy's he's not built for, say, the 80s or 90s where you're gonna take some hits coming into the lane. He's not built for that. Wow, you motherfuckers. Now, guys, as you can see, they're really getting physical and abusing the fuck out of me, and that's not cool. Get it? Get the damn yes. And that's just the era that we live in. There's no physicality. Whereas back in the day, you couldn't come in the lane. You were going to get hammered. You could not just come in and get a free look. Like if you watch LeBron dunk the ball, LeBron will oftentimes dunk it one-handed on an empty goal. So nobody wants the cheap foul, and nobody wants to hit anybody because everybody's kind of weak in this era. Oh shit, he put it right back in my face, you son of a bitch. But that's the era that we live in. To me, it's an inferior product. And it's definitely triggered by the, nice board, by the way that players no longer stay in school. Nice oop. It is a lot of one and done, and they're not developing their skills. It's not Tim Duncan staying for 4 years at Wake Forest. It's a bunch of guys saying, I got to go get my money, which is fine. But then they never really develop as players, which leads to the bust factor. Why are so many players busting all the time, even at the top of the draft? Well, it's obvious. They haven't honed their craft. And it's harder to hone your craft on the fly. Yeah, that's where I was trying to go the entire time, guys. That's right in your face. So, you got this scorers mentality where it's all about just get as many scores as you can get. You got guys like Carmelo Anthony who are all about themselves. I'm just not a Melo fan. I feel like Melo is just a selfish player. There's a lot of volume shooters out there. Now the Hall of Famers they always got theirs as well, but they also understood the team concept. And the players, some of the second tier players from the 80s and 90s would be better than 99% of the guys in the league right now that are starters. I mean, Draymond Green would be a bench player in the 80s and 90s. He just would be. I'm not going to get to him. Yeah, that's crap. It is Iverson, though. That's fine. I'll give you that cheap one. Oh, come on. Wow, I'm getting fouled all of a sudden. That's right. I can do that shit, too. Motherfuckers. So, I mean, there's just a lot of guys that couldn't play in today's era. Why do I not have the ball? Why does the computer have the ball? There. Set that hard screen on his ass, man. Now I got the ball, don't I? Oh, come on. Well, I had a nice little screen set on him. Ah, come on. And as you can see, it will switch you to the wrong player at the wrong time. It's actually a great game, just really hard to play on my computer. As you can see, I can't hardly even get aimed at the basket. I just ran literally around the backboard. That was great. It's just difficult. The view doesn't help. The lack of true diagonals doesn't help. Yeah, I'm getting blocked, getting stuffed. It's tough, man. It's a battle. He's gonna get one right there. I can't even get to him. Can't get into the lane hardly. There we go. Stop the bleeding. You know, and then of course we're in an era where there's no defense. Now there's the no hand checking. That doesn't help. But nobody wants to play defense. You know, there's Hassan Whiteside. There's Kawhi Leonard. There's Draymond Green to an extent. There are, and Joakim Noah will do the dirty work. But so there are players in the league now that will play hard and will play something other than the offensive game. But it's not like it once was, because everybody once did that. That's not what I was going for, guys. I just screwed up the button press. Throw it down, the worm. So much has changed. Now I think about a guy who played for the Spurs for a very long time, Mario Elie. Called him the Junkyard Dog in its apt description, because he would do the dirty work. And the thing is, he was a guy who wouldn't even have probably even gotten a contract and played in the league if he didn't decide at some point, I'm just going to be a badass defender. That's going to be my thing. Oh, Scottie Pippen to the rack with the 360. And so he decided, basically, this is my niche. This is how I'm going to make my living. And you still got a couple guys like that now. But, you know, again, you couldn't go in the lane. You would get hammered. You couldn't be little Kevin Durant. I think about a guy like Charles Barkley, who was an undersized but badass power forward. And he's a guy who is a great example of a guy. Oh, come on. Really? I can't screw this one up, guys. Got to take it strong to the hole. Oh, come on, man. I didn't think so. Oh, I'm going to win by a point. So what we've just done is we just played so many more thoughts on basketball, but we're going to let that wait. We're going to let that simmer and marinate. I got some thoughts on, you know, why LeBron can't be Michael Jordan any more than Harold Miner could be. Why the dream teams were fantastic, the best collection of talent. Talk about further the state of the league right now. Got a lot more to say, but right now, I'm going to sum up the game. NBA Live 98. As you can see, I won by a single point. Not my best performance. Had some good moments, had some bad. Had a lot of trouble with the controls, but we got through it. Got the victory. That's all that counts. That counts on my season. So I was ready to take the loss if I had to, baby, because sometimes you got to take a loss. But I didn't have to do it. Let's see who the player of the game is. Now, I mean, I played well. 17 steals, had 12 assists. Not bad. Not real good on the board, but that would fit in today's NBA. You know, lack of true rebounders and shot blockers. AI, man, I can't even hate. It's the answer. He's the answer. So I don't think that was Jordan at shooting guard, so I got to go back and figure out why he's not on there. But yeah, Iverson, man, he did his thing, 10 assists. So there you go. Well, thank y'all for joining me, man. I'm going to get back into it some more. I'm going to do probably another game of this, or I might do some NBA Jam. Y'all want to see that? So appreciate y'all hanging with me. We're going to kick it again soon. Talk some more stuff, like I said, about the NBA and about the game series itself. And, man, I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.